This is a Kenwood receiver, power, volume. The tuning is kind of broken. I think it's missing the dial string or something. It doesn't really matter. I could probably redo the string. This is one of those that has 1 million capacitors in it. So I believe it needs new output tubes. I remember looking at them and they were kind of not the best shape. Top is a little scuffed. You know, it's going to need some help. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to make a list of capacitors I'm going to need and probably have to make an order. This is the inside of the Kenwood. Now you can see a lot of capacitors. I will be recapping for days. Let's just go through this real quick. So starting at the bottom corner, I see the most obvious problem here is this across the line capacitor exploded. So obviously that needs to be replaced. I have one, that's not a big deal. 2 electrolytics here. This is your voltage doubler for the power supply. You have 100 and 100. I have 100 that should be able to fit in where this one is. And then I ordered a 100 axial capacitor for that. Now, I checked earlier the output transformers because that's what I was concerned about here, and they test okay. What tends to happen is you can see these right here, this one, this, and this, or sorry, these two and these two. Those are your coupling capacitors. Sorry, can't see where I'm pointing. These two here, and then these two. Those are your coupling capacitors, and what tends to happen, unfortunately, is they go leaky, and they kill the output tubes first, and then they eventually will destroy the output transformers. So those are number 1 on the list to replace. They're 0.05, I think, so I have tons of those. Now, all of these gray capacitors need to be changed. They're all no good. I mean, they were fine when they were new, but you know, they're all Japanese. They're oil-filled paper, so these are paper capacitors with oil inside them. So those are not reliable and need to go. Now, the other thing that I see here that probably needs to be changed is this. This is a selenium rectifier right here. Look at these tube sockets. Very fragile leads. So what I like to do on Japanese sets, and this is leaking physically, is cut right here and wrap the new lead around the old one and just solder it. And that usually does just fine. Now the other thing is with these, you can see the space. So if I were to use a large, expensive capacitor, good luck, that won't fit. So I use the regular ones I use for radios in these Japanese sets. I've never had a problem. Okay, so I went ahead and I changed, you can't really see them very well, but changed the 2 coupling capacitors in each channel. And I changed this other 0.0047. A lot of these are electrolytics, so these are all electrolytics, which like I said, I have on order. I can change that one up there. I'm trying to do this methodically and in an organized way because this is so busy and so full of components. I'm starting on the right side and migrating. So I'll start here, I'll go up here, go here, and etc. I'll go through the set in a nice organized way. Okay, I've started changing capacitors. You can see up here, there's quite a few that have been changed, and then of course down here. I still got these over here in the tone control to change. Then I've got 0.02 and some 0.05s down there. There's about 3 or 4 of those. Got one over here, and then the rest are electrolytics. One other thing I noticed, a couple things. This one here, this filter capacitor, you can see if I bring you in, it's leaking. So that's obviously no good. But yeah, it's a lot of electrolytics. And then once I change every capacitor in here, I can power it up, see what it does, see what that selenium rectifier is putting out. Hopefully it's something. And see if it plays. Hopefully it will. I think it probably, chances are good that it will do something, because these Japanese units are actually pretty solid. The tuner section in this is supposed to be really something. Once I fix the dial string that's broken. But in general, Kenwood has a really good reputation for a great tuner section, especially their tube stuff. So, this is, despite the craziness in here, it's well built. The parts are good quality. It's very nicely laid out, even though there's a lot of wiring and so on. You can see I'm putting the sleeving on the capacitors because they are kind of close together. I don't want anything to touch. Someone really put a lot of work into this when they built this. It's seriously well put together, despite what a lot of people say about early Japanese electronics. This is definitely not junk. So I went through and I replaced that one here. This, I don't know where it went. It went flying, but it's one of these, and it is a paper capacitor. I took it apart, and it's definitely paper. So, so we're going to replace these 3. All right, so I changed these capacitors. This was a CAN capacitor. It was 340 microfarads at I think 350. 350 volts. It says on right on there, 350. So that's obviously been leaking. You can see that it was leaking. So I've replaced them. It's not the most beautiful job, but they're not going to move around. I mean, they're really pretty solid. This is not the best, but it's not moving. It's pretty tight, and with the lid on it, it's obviously not going to go anywhere, so that's okay. The next step is I need to wait for some more parts to come in, because I still have this capacitor. I need to get that. And then I've got these 2 here. This is a 100, and that's a 100. That's the voltage doubler. So I need to change those. I think there's a couple little small, there's a little tiny electrolytic down here, which I forgot. And then you've got these 2 here and one up there. So you've got probably another 8 or 9 capacitors to go before I can do anything with this. Just to show you here, this is the size difference. This is a 100. That's a 100. This is also a 100. This is at 500 volts. See, it's roughly the width of this. It's crazy. Anyway, so that's going in. Okay, sorry, I don't have my tripod. I forgot it today. Changed every capacitor in this thing as far as paper and electrolytic. That's better than it was, but it's still, this didn't fit. But it's not going anywhere. It's pretty tight. So we're about to the point where we could power it up. However, the audio output tubes, one of them is brown. I'll show you. This kind of looks terrible. I don't know. I might do something about, actually, apparently this is all I need to do. Okay, I'll deal with that. But look at this tube. This tube did not have a fun time at some point, and it's probably gone to air or dead. I can't really tell. I don't know, but either way, the getter is gone. It's supposed to be silver on top. Well, it's almost gone. There's a little bit left, but not much. So I'm thinking either, like I said, that's gone to air, or that's completely just shot. Burnt up probably by a bad coupling capacitor is my guess. Come on. So how do we solve that problem? Well, we have to replace the tube, and of course, given that we've got set of 4 and they have to be matched, we're going to have to replace all 4. So that is what it is. The other thing that we have to do is fix the dial string, which is broken and missing, and I don't know what the pointer is. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to have this on the B+. I want to see if we get any voltage from it. Make sure the diodes are okay. The other thing I want to do is I just want to check the negative supply, make sure I'm getting some negative voltage. That's actually more what I'm concerned about. But let's see. I pulled out the audio tubes, so it's just the power supply and the tuner, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and then we'll bring it up, like I said, very back here. I got that on 0. Right. Oh, might make sense to put the power on. Where's power? Power. Well, volume's not going to have any volume, so that's fine. Let's see, we'll get. Oh, it would also help to plug in my power supply. Hold on. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Put that. Oh, look at that. We got 17 volts so far. Now the negative supply, you can see right down here, which you can't see because the meter's in the way. Right down there, there's a diode. And that connects to a resistor, ultimately to a negative supply. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and we'll just do a quick check here. I'm getting a good negative voltage, and then come over to here. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to shut that down. I've got my new set of output tubes, which came all the way from Ukraine. So you'll be happy to hear Ukraine is still intact enough to give me some tubes, which are probably Russian or Soviet, whatever. These are 6P, 14P EV tubes. You can't really see the CCCP. Yep, so definitely from the Soviet Union. And these are cheap tubes. I mean, they're like nothing. So if I destroy them by doing something here, I should at least be able to get new ones. It may take me a couple months, but they were not expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and just go over here, and of course you see me in the video, but that's all right, whatever. So we'll stick these in, if I can even see where they go. Right, that's that one there. So obviously the old tubes that were in here, I was saying before that they were completely gone in terms of there was just no life in them. So these are tested and they are supposedly matched. I don't have a way to match tubes. Okay, so I've got the speakers hooked up. Now what I really care about here is, let's check the settings on the unit, right? So I've got power on, tape monitors off, rumble filters off, loudness is off, we don't need that. Bass, we don't need that much bass. We'll just do that in the middle. Balance, balance we'll put in the middle. Noise filters off. FM stereo. No idea where this is. That reverse stereo. We'll leave that on stereo. Okay. So we're going to power this up, and we'll bring it up slow. So I'm going to turn that on. I will turn that guy on, and I have this hooked up to the bias. So we're only at at 10 volts. I'm going to move this out of the way so I can just see what's going on here. So let's see, are the tubes lighting? Well, you can't really see much. Oh no, maybe a little bit. Just very dim. Although I don't know, I should look up the specs for these tubes. It was a 7189. 45 volts. Got the eye tubes lighting out. I wish you could see it. It's drawing current. Oh no, the stereo indicator is lighting. Oh, I hear something. I hear my phone. That's, what is it? Phono, FM, AM. I hate this song. Yeah, definitely sounds good. So we have something. Put this away before I lose it. So definitely sounds really good. So this is a good thing. We're actually doing well here. I do want to clean these controls again. They're very dirty. I already cleaned them twice. I need to clean them again. So I'll do that. Obviously need to fix the tuning string. Sorry, we got our shaky camera back, but what I'm doing here is I'm replacing the the selenium with a silicon bridge, and you can't just stick in a silicon rectifier in place of selenium because there's a voltage drop on the selenium. So, you know, this, I measured it, and we've got 9 volts out of the old selenium, which is sitting right over here. The silicon bridge, which it's not really a bridge, it's 2 diodes with a cathode connected together and the negative not connected to anything. So anyway, that's how I've configured it. Hopefully it won't blow up. We'll find out as soon as I turn it on. If I don't see a positive voltage, I'll just shut it off. But yeah, I have the negative not connected to anything. It's just hanging loose in there. Probably have to glue it in place. There's no real way to screw it in. Everything's kind of tight. So I'll just put some glue on it. It'll be fine. But I'm going to get the resistor right because I need to be able to drop the voltage. Yeah, we got the voltage coming out of it. That's good. I don't have the antenna hooked up, which I probably should have. I could have, the other way to do this, I could have just put 2 diodes in there, but there's nowhere to put it. I'd have to put a terminal strip, and I have this, so might as well just use it. Yeah, I'm getting the positive voltage out of it, so that's good. We're at 30 volts. So at 115 on the Variac, you can see this is my Variac, 115 volts, I was seeing 9 volts. Okay, I put in a 10 ohm resistor. That seems like it might be a little better. Yeah, already I can see it's better. I might not even need a resistor. We'll find out. Getting 8 volts, not quite enough. You know what? We might not need a resistor. Let's do a direct connect. At 5.8, I've got 60 volts on the thing. So it might be too high. Let's see, we'll find out. Yeah, it's a little, we're at 90 volts and we're getting 9.1. Okay, so more experimenting. We could try I'm just gonna have to play with this, I guess. So this is basically what you do. You connect a resistor between these 2 points. So this is a 10 ohm resistor. I'll have to try 5 or 1 or something. And we'll just, we'll just keep trying different values. And yes, there's a way to calculate it, but I'm not a math whiz, and this is honestly doesn't take that long. So I'll just try the values I have, probably 4.7 next. Okay, so can't show that, but I'm getting 9 volts from this 6.8 ohm. And that's just a little over 115 volts. So that's about what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do, shut this off, and I will go ahead and put that in. All right, so this is in there. It's loose right now, but I'm going to put some glue on it, and that will keep it in place like that. And that is to replace this old selenium pack here, which is really not a bridge rectifier. It's actually just got, come on, focus. It's got an AC in and 1 output, so it's really just 2 diodes in 1 package. I bought some dial cord, which comes in a nice package here, and it's pretty long, so I should be able to get something out of that one. And the good news is the electronics are pretty much done, so it's working, it's reliable, it's not gonna suddenly shut off and die.
Star 99.9.
Than other hospitals, with the highest success rate.
Los planters, Daisy, McCormick, and Rico Rice. $1,000 and more than $35 million in total prizes.
Please play responsibly. Overall odds 1 in 3.66. Odds vary during game. Must be 18 or older to purchase.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new
The bill would also require a tax against homeless people.
something that, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite.
Eat this first.
Okay, here we go.
So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
They're monitoring this.
So they are listening.
Ashes like Trump. So we don't
So
want to oversell
you can see here,
transformation.
the left side
We are
is the
seeing that the
tuning
UAW
theme.
is in the line
How
of march
tuned in am
to
I?
transformative labor
The right
movement
is how
that-
strong is the stereo signal.
Close to the airport, and and by God's grace, here we are.
So you know you can see
So I'm,
weaker signal.
So grateful to God
Not
for
tuned
everything
in
for
too
traveling
well.
mercies today, and today we're
Obviously I can't play some of these too long.
They just troll.
Let's add to that UCLA. Steve Futterman, let's go to you.
NPR station.
You are on campus at
So,
UCLA right now, right?
It's working pretty well. Sounds good. Definitely.